أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Last week we started discussing isti'adha, seeking refuge, wa alaikum assalam, seeking refuge in God from Satan. So for this week, we will be studying, we decided to move this discussion to Friday discussion. So we will be doing it in an extended way for the upcoming multiple weeks. So for that reason, let's switch the topic for today. So today's topic is going to be sending blessings to prophets, which is an interesting topic. So, it's going to be from Surah Al-Ahzab, if you would like to open it up from there, which is the 33rd chapter. The main verses that I would like to focus on is on 56, 57, verse numbers 56 and 57. But I'll read it from here. But before this, let me welcome our new guest. What's your name? Tian, welcome.
No, Gina.
Gina, sorry. Okay, so my name is Yusuf. We have a Darartu there. We have Zareen. And then we have Sister Izza. I guess you know William. So good. And normally in these discussions, what we study is we are studying, like so far, many things, but this term specifically, we are focusing on key concepts in Qur'an. So they are generally being like phrases, like a single word sometimes, but it really establishes a concept. So we are trying to understand what that is and how is it relevant to us, because Quran is like divine guidance for us. So it must be relevant to my life to the extent that I'm in need of guidance in my everyday life. But what does this mean? So last week we were discussing the concept of seeking refuge in God from Satan, devil. Like, what does this mean? What is devil? Does even such a thing exist and whatnot? So we will keep discussing this on Friday discussion. So for today, we decided to switch the topic. So the verse that I would like to focus on is from the 33rd chapter, verse number 56 and 57. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Indeed, Allah and His angels, God and His angels, send blessings on the Prophet. O you who believe, send blessings on him and salute him with all respect. So, and also, next verse is also interesting. So I would like to also read the next verse. إن الذين يؤذون الله ورسوله لعنهم الله في الدنيا والآخرة وأعد لهم عذابا مهينا. Verily those who cause harm to God and His messenger, God has cursed them in this world and the hereafter and has prepared for them a humiliating chastisement. So this verse, if like reading it on the face value, sounds interesting. First and foremost, what does it mean that God and angels are sending blessings to prophets? Number one. Number two, then the Creator says, oh, you who believe, you also do the same, send blessings to the prophets. Now we are talking about a person who passed away 14 centuries ago. What does that mean to send salutations to that person? Number one. Number two, also the first part of the verse, God and angels send salutations to the messengers. Can I really confirm this? Because the verse is starting with the phrase which says, definitely this is the case. And since this is guidance that I am supposed to confirm upon, so in these discussions, so a little update for Gina. In these discussions, the way we take revelation is like a map. So if you have a treasure map written on a paper, you have it. It's a guidance for you to find some treasure. But having the map itself doesn't make you rich. Like you cannot say that I am rich just because I have a paper, because a map is just a piece of paper. It doesn't mean much before, unless you take it as a guidance and go and dig the ground wherever it is saying that here is the, treasure. Then you can confirm first that this is a true message, true guide, true map. Second, then you will benefit because this is how you get rich. Like map doesn't make you rich, but the goals make you rich, right? So applying this analogy to divine message, now there's this message which is claiming to be the speech of God. And I am bothered in this life with many problems, like everybody's going through things in life. Today, I just learned one of our students' grandfather passed away. And I know that his grandfather was too big for him because he has written his name in the dedication of his thesis. So such things happen in life. So then I am expecting my maker to provide me a guidance. And here is a book which says, yes, I am speech of your maker, your creator. I say, okay, let me see. I take it and try to apply it to myself and see if it works. Then I would say, yeah, this is really my maker is speaking in here. So now this is a sentence which says, I am coming from your maker, your creator. And now I'm trying to see how I can confirm that. So let's start from the first part. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Indeed, Allah and his angels send blessings on the Prophet. How can we confirm this? Is going to be my first question. But probably as I'm asking that question, you should also be asking to yourself, what is a blessing in the first place? Like, how does one send blessing to someone? What does this even mean? Right? And just to give a little bit of background before starting the discussion any further, this word salat, passes maybe 100 times in Qur'an, but only in 2 or 3 places it is translated as sending blessings. In all the rest of the places, it is translated as prayer, like regular prayer that we do. So sending blessing then becomes a interesting case. What does this mean, really? And to give you a little further perspective, I will come back to here, but this same word appears in the same chapter, but verse number 43. So let me quickly take you back to there and start the conversation from there. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu dhkurullaha dhikran kathira. O you who believe, remember God with much remembrance. وَسَبِّحُوهُ بُكْرَةً وَأَصِيلًا, and glorify him morning and evening. Okay. هُوَ الَّذِي يُصَلِّي عَلَيْكُمْ وَمَلَائِكَتُهُ لِيُخْرِجَكُم مِّنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ. It is he who sends blessings on you, as do his angels, that he may bring you out from the depths of darkness into light. وَكَانَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَحِيمًا, and he is full of mercy to the believers. That is adding another wrinkle to our equation, actually. It is saying that, like in the verse that I want to mainly focus today, was saying that God sends blessings to prophet, angels also send blessings to prophet. Now in this verse, it's saying that God is sending blessings to you, like to me, interestingly. So, and explaining this blessing part so that he may bring you from the depths of darkness into light. So what's that blessing? Let's start from there. Like, what sort of a blessing does your creator send to you and the angels send to you, whatever that means, to bring you from darkness into light? Do you have such an experience? Or any darkness that you experience in life, if you would like to give an example, I found myself in such a darkness at this and that point of my life, and then I received lights. And I am sure it was from my creator, from angels. What does that mean?
Not necessarily giving all details about that.
Yeah.
Giving all the details.
Yeah, you don't have to tell
I
everything.
that much.
Yeah.
Risky them.
Yeah, you don't have to tell us all the details about your darkness. Yeah. But it might help. No? No darkness? There are two darknesses? No? No. Oh, yeah, you can take the, whoops, sorry. This was supposed to go there. Okay, my apologies.
I guess I was honestly trying to think of an example of like darkness, and maybe I'm thinking too broad. Because I'm sure like day to day I'm just genuinely unsatisfied with little things, not even like much. But I think ease is provided. I'm trying to think of a good example, but I guess like if I become too focused on my day to day and forget that this world is truly temporarily and more of a place of learning, and I start to prioritize things that maybe aren't so important in the long term, I start to feel upset like with myself. Like maybe I didn't call my parents as much as I like. I just keep putting it off. And then at one point, something happens. I call back and I'm like, how did I not know that this thing happened? I think there is moments provided to me at the right time to teach me maybe I'm not necessarily going in the right directions, because my life isn't so random that this things just so happen to happen when I wasn't calling or something like that. And things like that continue to happen throughout my life. Something happens, I'm maybe not attending enough lecture classes or something, and then I'm like, what? But I start to get upset with myself. Like I start to feel sad or get too caught up on the smaller things, and I'm like, wait, is this truly like what life is all about? Because if this is it, I don't feel satisfied. And then I keep coming back to like, what brings me satisfaction, I think. And I continue to question that over and over again. So
Okay. While you guys are thinking about your darknesses, I can tell some example. Like when I entered home today, so I'm going to start from the light. So like maybe a month or so ago, we invited some friends. And so when we invite crowded people, we convert our house a little bit to accommodate larger numbers. So we converted our bedroom into a guest room. So we just put the bed upside down or to the side, so it becomes a guest room that we can sit. One of the friends said, well, are you not planning to live the American dream? Like, why are you living in this house? Today, when I came home, I thought about the same thing. Like, when I get into my room, I was going to join a meeting with my advisor. And now I am trying to find a corner in the room which is going to give the right camera angle where it's okay to show. So I said, I made a prayer for my wife, saying that may Allah be pleased with her, that she's not complaining about, oh, why are you making me live in this small house? But then I thought normally people would get so much stressed in such a small space. And but I mean, thanks to our creator, so like gives us the happily life that I can live in here. Because otherwise, if I guess we were to seek satisfaction within the wider space itself, definitely a small, narrow space is going to just become a torture. And we will start blaming each other and whatnot. Because I would be normally expecting happiness from the space itself. But the light, and this is what the verse is also saying, remember your creator with much remembrance, glorify him in the morning and evening, and he sends you blessings and his angels. So like, as much as I remember my maker, if I just think about this way smaller space that I occupy in this world, which is my body, but the entire body itself is full of blessings that I'm being given with. So, and it's not that the body is satisfying me, but the fact that I am being provided constantly for free. Like somebody is giving me so many gifts 24/7. And even if you were to receive a gift from somebody, even like some random stranger in the street, sometimes they give you some rose or something, you become so much happy. So now I am being provided with so many blessings every moment in my life. So this, the fact that I am being given blessings or gifts, or somebody is remembering me and occupying me in this life for a purpose, saying that, look, I remember you, I know you are there, and purposefully I am giving you this, sometimes not giving you that, but even not giving in this case becomes a meaningful reminder that somebody who knows me didn't give at this occasion what I wanted from that person, that one. So even giving or not giving, all of them becomes like a message that constantly comes to me in this life. So life itself then becomes full of blessings. Then, as much as I remember my creator, everything in this life becomes a blessing. And the moment I realize this, I wake up from darkness into the light. Because otherwise, what is happening if I take the opposite of it? Then I am trying to seek satisfaction within the things themselves, because there is no God in this case in my equation. It is just, house. If it's a good house, you live good life and you're happy. If it's a small house, then you live a bad life and you're upset. Like, it's all about me and everything else. And in this case, I take things for granted as if they are the sources of my happiness, my satisfaction, which drags me into this darkness. Because house doesn't give me what I'm asking from it. I know that it does not, but what do? Oh, my neighbor has a wider house. Maybe if I get the house, I'm going to get happy. So I'm postponing my darkness with the hope that the light is going to appear at the end of the tunnel. This is how it goes with PhD students, right? You're hoping that you will publish this paper and it's going to be okay at some point, because at the moment I don't find light. The light I am hoping that will appear once this torture of PhD ends, which it never does, right? So remembering my creator will make me realize that in the third verse, my creator sends blessings to me. And the angels sending blessings to me is slightly different, but we can talk about this too, if you would like to. So this is how, in one sense, darkness and light in our everyday life is there, and how that remembrance makes me realize that, oh, constantly I am receiving these blessings. Yes, I think I gave you enough time to think about anybody else who wants to share.
Can I ask a question? Not
Sure. Okay.
I had a question about like the opposite feeling of you feel extremely blessed actually, but then you're like, yeah, but then you hear of a story and it makes you think of your own life, and it makes you almost like I'm no better than the other person. I have no better quality. I don't think I worship better per se. So then it makes me think of like why not that person, and like why me? Because I do feel blessed in many ways of my life, and so there's the desire to share that blessing with that person, because I'm also assuming that person is struggling, and I'm like why not that person? I think like I struggled that, especially if it's like a person I know very close, and no matter what I do, the circumstance really won't change because I ultimately have no power over the situation. But that opposite feeling, rather than from darkness to like finding darkness in the blessing, I guess.
So just trying to understand why not
Like why not the other?
why
Like,
the other
feel
person.
darkness of that. Like I feel blessed, but then I'm also like upset with the blessedness in the sense of like, wait, but what about the other person? Like what's so good about me that, because ultimately there isn't. I think like there's a recognition that I'm no better than the next person. But that makes me more upset because I'm like, why not than the other person? Like,
So I mean, it depends what you mean by that type of darkness, because I'm trying to understand if it is that like let's simplify the case to make it in a like toy example. Let's say you feel like you are given food and shelter by your creator, and then you see a homeless person who is not given food or shelter, and you're feeling sorry about that person. Is this working in the same? Okay. So in this regard, you're feeling upset about that person's condition, and this is, I guess, humane. Well, is this upsetness darkness or not? Let's talk about this part, because darkness means that person, like either I will say that I'm not able to answer why this is happening to that person. More so, let me just translate it a little bit. I thought I was being given this blessing by an all-merciful maker. This actually is what made me feel happy. Not the fact that I am having a full stomach, but the fact that an all-merciful one is taking care of me, which means I have no worries then. Like even for the future, I don't have any worries. As long as such a merciful one is there, I feel secure in him. Now I see someone whose stomach is not filled. And then I say, what happened to the merciful one? Then this is a darkness. Then this would become a darkness, because really the actual darkness is in fact happening in terms of my maker, my creator, my sustainer. Is that sustainer there or not? Because in my experience with him, I realized that I am being provided, therefore the merciful sustainer exists. But then when I see the homeless person, I say, oh, does the sustainer not seeing him? If this is the case, yeah, that would be a proper darkness, I would say. But how do we resolve this then? Like, how do I observe mercy when it comes to a homeless person? Or how do I observe mercy when I see the children in the war zones, for example? Because I might be feeling happy and secure in my creator because he provides me this shelter. But how about the kids in war zones? So how do I see that? Does this like resonate or relate to your question or not? Because to my perception, darkness is really happening in terms of my relationship with my maker. Like even when I am unhappy in my home, let's say, I am unhappy because not because I don't have a wide house, but because I get disconnected from what a house is for or what life is for. I start living life just for the purpose of life itself, meaning detached from a purpose and meaning. This is where the darkness is. But to the moment that I start seeing this life as blessings, meaning it's coming from somewhere, then I lift my head and look from where it is coming from. This is where meaning starts to happen. Am I going too fast? Like think of it like some text written on something, or you just see it as shapes. You don't read Chinese, right? And even if, let's assume you don't, well, but you know it is Chinese. because you have seen it before. Have you read Lord of the Rings? No, okay. So you see some marks on a paper. To you, it is just meaningless waste of space or something. It's nothing. But if somebody comes and says, oh, this is written in Sindarin, this is such a language, and such an author is writing this, then it might start becoming, then you say, oh, now it makes sense. Otherwise, previously it was nothing. It was meaninglessness for you. Now it's becoming a meaningful message for you. So darkness is happening because my life is written like a text, events happening in my life, or to my neighbor. Like you might be living a life happily, but your neighbor is, from your perspective, living an unhappy life, and you cannot make sense of it. Then this is why it is dark for you, right? So how can I see the blessing in there so that it's going to become a light? I think this is how I am seeing where the problem is. If anybody wants to then enlighten us about the problem, I think pointed the problem. Okay, this is $200. I mean, I did the same, so it's yes. Anybody who wants to help us? So I guess Dartu's question, I was just trying to understand the question. The question then is, okay, I do see blessings in my life and I feel enlightened, or I feel that I am taken out from darkness to light. I'm good. But then another type of darkness gets into my life when I see that somebody is in the dark. My neighbor is going through hardship. And then I say, I didn't deserve any extra mercy. Why is the same mercy not going there? Because I was happy that I receive mercy, meaning there's a merciful one who takes care of me. But then when he doesn't care of somebody else, I say, is he not that merciful then? I think this must be the main problem, at least that's how I see it. Like you see Maryam treating Ali and Zainab very nicely. And you say, oh, such a nice mom, such a nice person. And then you see that once you just, when Birkan is not looking, she just smacks Bishra. Say,
Make the example of what you and then we
so you say, oh, because you were trusting in her because she treated 2 kids well, and you said, oh, I can be good friends with that person. So you were feeling nice. And then you see that she's smacking the 3rd child. And you say, oh, can I really trust her? It is where darkness coming into our lives, I think. We see something which doesn't fit our perception of the merciful creator or something, and then we say, I start feeling insecure. I start feeling uneasy. And that microphone can't stay there.
So in that case, if we're secure in the idea that I have truly been brought out of darkness into light by my creator, then we would also be secure in the fact that such a creator would do the same for this other person who I'm perceiving to be in a state of darkness at the moment. Like with the example, I could never imagine Maryam doing that to Bushra. So I'd have to think that there's something else like there. And also kind of thinking about my situation, I go through these hardship and darknesses, but at the end of them, I feel like I've learned some sort of lesson from them, and they've served to benefit me in a way. And so I can say that maybe about myself, possibly, but I don't know the situations of other people, what they've done in their lives, like how they relate it to like even other people. So there's so many connections and so many like events surrounding people's lives that I absolutely have no knowledge of. So to even judge that oh, this person is in a state of darkness because of one snapshot that I have perceived might also be incorrect on my part, I suppose. So I would think, they're going through a state. I feel sorry for them, and that feeling also is something that I can't control. So I think that also is a gift that still lets me know that there's mercy in that situation. But what that person is going through is also part of probably their development as well. So I would still feel secure in that person it has the opportunity to be helped or will be helped in some way, even if it's not through me. If I can do something, that's great too. But at the end of the day, that creator who's like guiding me out of the darkness is also capable of guiding others out of the darkness, is sort of how I take that.
And I guess my example for darkness could be applied to here. Per my friend's view, like since I'm living in this small house and his house is huge, like large enough to accommodate 2 families, and they are living 3 people in this house. So probably this is why he said, like, he's feeling uncomfortable now, probably just as you said, like, what do I deserve to be in this wide house? But Yusuf is not, so maybe he might have considered me as living in a darkness, maybe. But I mean, I'm pretty happy with my creator that whatever he is blessing me with. So from inside, I don't have that darkness, but he perceives it to be darkness. And I think this is important though. Why is he perceiving it as darkness? So I should ask that part, because the real darkness could only happen if he were to see me suffering in this small house, then that would be something. So I think this is what I'm hearing from Sister Zarian's comment as well. We don't know what's going on in that person's world. But apart from that, the real darkness, if I'm really struggling, then that would mean I don't see the point in this small house or whatever hardship I'm going through either. Then that simply means I am concerned about my neighbor who couldn't find his sustainer, his provider, meaning he doesn't have a meaning in his life. And that truly is a darkness. And to the extent that I experience this darkness, I am truly concerned about my friend. Actually, this is going to be, this really takes us to our main topic as well. The salli here, the blessing, the main blessing in this life is really the guidance. Like making sense of this life, why you are here, why am I here, where am I going to? Why did I end up in here? Like many of the students that take my class, if I explain to them where they will use this theory, they start getting interested in the class. Otherwise, they are just taking the class so that they pass the class and they immediately forget what is done in there. They hate themselves, they hate what they are doing, and they're just trying to get to the next thing in life. This is darkness. But the moment I can relate it to what will happen after college or once they step out of the classroom, they start getting engaged with the class. It becomes an important thing now, right? Okay, I am living in a small house, or I have a child, or I have a friend, or I fought with my friend. These are events happening in life. If they don't have any meaning beyond themselves, then it is darkness. This really is the darkness. And the light meaning, why did I have this fight? Or why am I living in this city of Philadelphia, which is not that clean, right? Like, what is the point? What is the purpose? This is there to the extent that the answers come to here. This is the actual light. So now the verse was saying that your creator keeps sending you blessings and the angels keep you sending the blessings. What does this mean in this regard now? Let's try to read it in this regard. Your creator is sending you the meaning and the purpose of this existence. If you pay attention, you will hear it day in, day out. Or do you? Like, is the life so that by just looking at it, wouldn't you say, sometimes we do say this actually, this is like too good to be by coincidence. Sometimes, I mean, we say this occasionally because we take many things for granted, but you say that this cannot be a coincidence that I am meeting with you in this place. Like, you are born in there, I am born in the other corner of the world, but we are meeting in, I don't know, in this room today. You say, and actually, you know what, that question was passing from my mind yesterday. It sometimes happens, right? Say, this cannot be coincidence. Actually, I was thinking about this topic. And then we take it as definitely there must be a message in this. Every moment of my life is as such. Like, it's too good to be by chance that I need oxygen, and now this tree is producing what I exactly need. So someone is saying that I know what you need and I provide it to you. Like, the universe, by the universe itself, the maker of the universe is shouting, if you like, saying that I am here and I am occupying you, or not occupy, but engaging you in this life to make a point to you. So what is the blessing that's being sent? This constant message that is being sent with the, as we use sometimes in the discussions, tongue of disposition. Somebody coming and hugging you means I love you. It's a body language, right? Or a mom spoon feeding a child is a language of mercy, saying that I do care about you, my baby. My creator is spoon feeding me with oxygen from my nose every moment, which is a language of I do care about you. You don't need to walk all the way near. Like, sometimes we need to walk near the water pipe to drink water, but we occasionally need to drink water. We need to breathe air multiple times a second, like a moment, but we don't go anywhere. Oxygen comes to us. Like, as if somebody is feeding me with oxygen, spoon feeding me with oxygen, saying that I do care about you. So if I pay attention to the life itself, everything is speaking to me if I carefully pay attention to what they are saying. So everything is really sending blessings or the light to say that, wake up, you are living in a life where you are being taken care of very seriously. Once I realize this, and then I say, oh, why is it a small house? Then I can ask that question, because it looks like in majority of the rest of my life, everything is going so good. Somebody is really very well taking care of me, and life is really aligning beautifully. But then, why small house? Then I need to think this. Then there must be a separate message in here. It's not all about me feeling comfortable, because sometimes the teacher asks hard questions to the student so that they learn something different. Because if I keep asking easy questions to students, they become lazy. If I would like to teach them something a little more, sometimes I ask hard questions. They initially don't like it because their first answer to that question is being wrong. But it should be wrong, actually. I would like them to first make a mistake, then realize their mistake, correct themselves, and then find the correct answer. But that's the point. This is how education works. So in this regard, yes, you will find those darknesses in other people's worlds or in your world. Then you will say, okay, everywhere else there was this light and mercy. How do I apply it to here? With this, I can take you back to our original verse. What does it mean that God and angels send blessings to messenger? What does this mean? Number one. Number two, we are also going to send blessings to messenger. So what does it mean to God send blessing to messenger? What does it mean me sending blessings to messenger? And this person has passed away 14 centuries ago, yet today I am commanded to do that. What does that mean? Yes.
So if we take it as like the meaning of having these blessings sent to us and to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, if that is the case, then I suppose the blessings upon the prophets are that they are all guided in, I guess, the best of ways. Like they're the best examples and the best of, like, I guess the best of creation, in the sense they are the best students. Sorry, I'm saying best a lot. So I understand like that blessing to be that they received the instruction properly to the utmost level. And then I suppose for us, sending blessings upon them would be an acknowledgement of that, and also maybe saying that we too should follow that example, if that is like what it means to be human. Then that, like, us sending blessings would be acknowledging that and like also trying to follow that example.
Mm-hmm. So Prophet receiving blessing is, now that we started to talk about blessing in terms of really guidance, because Prophet himself didn't live a quote unquote luxury life. But we know that he lived a content life though, like whatever he received. So being content is really the point. But where does content come from? You become content if you see the point in it, and if you are sure and secure about your provider. Even if you're like, if you know that your dad is super rich, but gives you 5 cents, $10, or whatever he gives, as long as you see the wisdom of what he gives to you, and then you're sure and secure that he has infinite more. If I need, he will give. So my main point is not really the money itself that satisfies me, as long as when he gifts me this $5, $10, whatever, to satisfy my need, I know that this $10 is a sign of I care about you and I got you. Don't worry. Then the amount becomes insignificant. If it is a million or if it is 5 cents, doesn't matter. It means I am being provided, I am being sustained. This is what matters for human, because we are worried, like this is how we are. Am I going to be taken care of tomorrow? This is what worries us. Like imagine if you don't need to worry about anything you need. I cover you. If somebody gives you such a guarantee for whatever, from whatever source, would you worry about going to work tomorrow? People talk about early retirement, right? What does that mean? If I can guarantee some sort of a steady income, I don't want to work anymore. So we would like that guarantee. Somebody is going to take care of me. Okay, no worries, then I'm going to start traveling the world. Like this is the dream, right? Because human has needs. As long as those needs are provided, securely provided, why should I worry about? So the moment I realize that I am being provided and my provider is super rich, then worries disappear. It doesn't matter if he gives you $5 or $5 million. What matters is you establishing this security, right?
And if it matters, what does that mean? I guess if the giving matters to you, because then I'm thinking about like asking, right? Like you're provided and you're still, like, if you want to ask, you're more than welcome to ask. It doesn't mean you're going to receive it. So I guess like if you're finding, like if you're unsatisfied with the $5, is that wrong? Like, if you decide like, no, actually, I'm gonna ask for more, since he is guaranteeing to someone.
So yes, so let me correct my example. As long as $5 satisfies me or 5 million satisfies me, the point is, by this interaction, I conclude that I have a provider, I have a sustainer. The moment I reach this conclusion that I have a sustainer, then the rest becomes irrelevant. The amount becomes irrelevant. But now your question is, what if I'm not satisfied with this $5 or a $5 million? Because some people are not satisfied with $5 million either, right? So then I need to question, why am I not satisfied with this $5 or $5 million? It probably is because I am seeking satisfaction in the $5 itself, not the fact that I am being provided by an infinitely, absolutely rich source. Because if I think about it, just receiving a single drop of water, let's make it practical, like drinking 1 cup of water, would it be satisfactory for a human being? Or receiving a single plum, as I gave an example about a plum before. Like that single plum that I told you about before, that I received in one of gardens at some point, was such a wealth for me, although it doesn't even count as a single dollar, just a single plum. But what does it take to make this single plum? Actually, that single plum is an infinitely expensive thing, if you think about it. Practically speaking, yeah, we pay less than $1 to buy a single plum. But if I were to make this plum, what would it take? It would take to make the entire solar system. I need to make the seasons. I need to make the day and night. I need to bring the water from the ocean to my garden with the clouds. Like rain needs to happen. Entire universe needs to happen so that I get this single plum. So the single plum is coming from the treasury of whomever is just running the entire universe. That plum is actually so expensive, it's not that cheap. If you really pay attention to the price of a plum, receiving a single plum is an infinitely expensive gift to you. If you see it as such, then you would say, yes, 1 plum is enough for me to show that my sustainer is really painted this plum uniquely, because every different plum's a different color, different shape. They have their unique signature in there. Somebody who uniquely cared about me prepared this unique gift and is giving it to me. Then that's enough for me to feel secure. So this is why everything is infinitely expensive in this sense. Then the amount becomes insignificant, because any gift becomes a gift. And the point then becomes simply, I am receiving a gift from someone who takes care of everything. Such a one is hearing my small need as well. So today, you guys came here, and if it was a birthday of one of you here, and in between the discussion, I say, oh, by the way, Director, happy birthday, you will feel special, won't you? Like, where did you know that today was my birthday, you would say, right? This is how we are. Or if something that you specifically like, if Mariam cooked it for you and said, oh, Zareen, I just did this for you, you will feel special. It doesn't matter how much effort she put in there and whatnot, but you would say, oh, I was thought about. This is what matters. So likewise, in life, I think if we pay attention to everything that's being sent to us is a blessing. The Creator, now that we are talking about the message aspect of it, angels, which are messengers, are constantly bringing us those blessings. So I can really agree with this verse, the first verse. Yes, I do indeed receive blessings. When it comes to the messenger, I do see that he has also received so many blessings. How do I know? Today, how do I know? I mean, other than his history of his life, I can see that for history of his life. But apart from that, from today, how can I know that he received so much blessings? the blessing is right in front of me. The revelation, which is the guidance, is the blessing that he took, which I am now benefiting from. So to the extent that I realize the beauty of this message and how it is really solving problems in my life, anxieties in my life, what's going to happen to me in the future, sort of worries, to the extent that the message cleans up all those problems, I say, that's so good. Like this message is so nice. This is what I would call a blessing in life. And this was given to, first and foremost, the messenger himself. So it must be that this person was really bothered by something, that his creators sends him this blessing openly, saying that here are your problems, here are their solutions. So he really received it. I do see this as well. It's available to me today. But then what does it mean that I send blessings to the messenger? Like what sort of a, because one meaning of sending blessings from our end is to sort of make supplication for that person. Let's say if I say, oh God, give guidance to William. This is some sort of a supplication that I would do for you. Or I would say, oh God, William is going to have a match next week. Make him score all threes. Okay. Like this is some sort of a supplication that I do for you. And you are in need of it because you would like to score all threes. And I'm asking for my creator to help you in this regard. What does it mean that I ask my creator to send blessings to the messenger? How is this a guidance for me? How do I benefit from that? Yes, we can take, microphone is there.
Can you turn down?
So we have online people, this is why. Okay.
Oh, okay. I think it benefits us more than we know, because when you send blessings, the angels also send blessings to you. And when you do that also, it's like you remember. It's a constant state of remembrance of God and his angels and the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So without us darkly knowing it, it affects us, it softens our hearts. The remembrance of God is good for us. God tells us that. So yeah, it's like a subconscious thing. The more you do it consistently, the more you are in that mental state of remembering God, remembering the messenger and the angels. And I forgot what the verse in Arabic is, but when you send blessings to the Prophet, the angels send blessings back to you. So it could benefit us in more than one way.
Actually, it was yesterday, and actually this is where I'm trying to take this from. After the prayer, there's this, after adhan, there's this supplication that Prophet says, whomever makes the supplication after hearing adhan, what was the word? Let me pick. My intercession for him will be allowed on the day of resurrection. Like it's a supplication that you say, remembering the, and I can read it from Sahih Bukhari. So it is an authentic narration. من قال حين يسمع النداء اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. This is the dua. حلت له شفاعتي يوم القيامة. So then God's messenger said, whoever after listening to adhan says, O Allah, Lord of this perfect call and of the regular prayer which is going to be established, give Muhammad the right of intercession and illustriousness, and resurrect him to the best and the highest place in paradise that you promised him. Then Prophet says, my intercession for him will be allowed on the day of resurrection. So I'm going to make a supplication to the messenger, and the content of this supplication is, I'm telling to my creator that send support to the messenger, raise him to the highest of the ranks. How does this help me? Because a few days ago I was reciting this, and then this dua after adhan, I was excited about the message, just the fact that I was about to make a prayer and how prayer is. Now I am offering my thanks to my Creator. And it really illuminates my life, because the moment you are thankful, you realize that you are being provided. If you are unthankful, your world is dark because you feel like you got it. But if you realize that you are being provided, then that means somebody is taking care of you, thinking about you, providing you. So the prayer itself, or the message itself, is such a blessing that I was so excited, and I said, oh, my Creator, I am so happy with your messenger, because what he brought to us, so you be pleased with him. Raise him to the highest of the ranks, because I benefited so much from him. But at the same time, this supplication itself is strengthening, as Gina was mentioning, strengthening my relationship with the message and the messenger. Like, it's like a feedback loop. The more I remember and be happy about the message and say, oh, my Creator, I'm super excited and super happy with him, please give more to him, then I am starting to have a stronger relationship with the message itself. So it becomes a guidance for me too. Like, sending salawat to the messenger becomes making a supplication for myself eventually. This is why it's a guidance. It's not only that I am asking to support the messenger, but remembering the messenger and the importance of message in my life makes the message shine more in my life. So then I start appreciating the beauty and relevance of the message more. Like, think of it this way. Today, when I came home and said, oh, my Maker, be pleased with my wife, because she is okay and not complaining with the small house. Like, it's a two-way relationship, actually. First, I was asking that my Creator send blessing to my wife for she being kind and understanding. But at the same time, I was thankful to my Creator because such a blessing. Like, it's a feedback loop. It's not one way. You benefit from that supplication too. It's not that my wife is going to benefit from it only. I am benefiting from that supplication more. So this is why actually praying for somebody else is a source of guidance for you. You're asking from your Creator for Birkan, like, oh Allah, give this and that to Birkan. So I'm asking it to Birkan. But in this regard, he creating me in such a relationship with him becomes a blessing for me to be thankful about. So this is how saying salawat to Prophet, I mean, why is it a type of a worship? Like, you're making a supplication for the Prophet and it's becoming a worship for you. And it's a source of guidance for you. This is why it is a guidance for you. Any comments, please? I told too much today. Any comments? Okay.
I'm a graduate psychology student, and they always teach us about the power of your mind, and what you focus on, it grows. And subhanAllah, in Islam, we're required to pray 5 times a day. Many people would argue, like, this is too much. This is like, astaghfirullah, God is so self-conceited, no. But they don't realize, like, how influential this is on us and how beneficial it is for us. It's like we're in a constant state of remembrance. It's like meditation. The modern form today, you hear mindfulness, meditation, do this, do that. This is our form, and it's remembering God, and it's so healing for us in so many ways that we don't even realize. And I don't know if you guys know about positive reinforcement.
Okay.
So it's like God rewards us for everything we do. It's like to encourage us to do it. And even though some people are so simplistic, like, oh, if I do this, I'm going to get reward, so they do it. But others, when they reflect, they realize that this is like, if it's rewarded, we would want to do it more, and it's even better for us. So it's like self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, yeah, I'm rewarded for this. It's so good for me. And now I know the benefits for it. Like, لأن شكرتم فسوف أزيدنكم. So if you are more thankful, I will give you more. So it's the small things. Like if you want God to give you a lot of things, then start with the basic things. Start with the things that you've been talking about, like the necessities, the oxygen you breathe, the little things you have. And if you're so grateful, that's how it is. God will give you more. So yeah.
And call upon me so that I respond to you. The moment that you are calling upon your Creator for anything, if I'm careful, if I'm aware of it, Salawat was yet another call upon my Creator to say that send blessings to the messenger. But even if I call upon my Creator by saying, oh, my Creator, make William shot all threes, is another call upon my Creator. But the fact that I am able to call upon my Creator is a blessing. That I'm realizing that I am being heard, that I am having a conversation with my Creator, is a blessing in and of itself. Being heard is such a huge thing, especially in this life where people are so much lonely in those huge cities. You're talking to someone and somebody is listening to you. Like if you know that nobody listens to you, would you talk? If I am conscious of what I am doing when I ask from my Creator, it means I am being heard. This is why I'm talking. So the fact that I am being heard gives me this immediate reward, as you're mentioning, that I am being taken serious in this existence. I am here for this conversation, and that's what matters. If nobody else listens to me, who cares? So immediate reward comes. So this is where my guidance lies. This is what takes away the darkness from. So if now we wrap it up, the very first verse was saying that indeed your Creator sends blessings and angels as well. To you, I do say yes, indeed. Every message in this universe, everything is a speech coming to me in this universe is a blessing. And now I am responding back to this. Oh, my Maker, this message came to me through this messenger, which is another huge source of guidance, light, blessing. Send blessings to him, I say, because I'm excited about the message, how much I benefit from it. And just this bare fact of asking for blessing to my to messenger becomes a source of guidance and light for me as well. Okay, so let's conclude here, inshallah. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.